So what exactly qualifies as targeting, a catch, or the infield fly rule, particularly as that last one pertains to the Braves' winner-go-home wildcard game against the Cardinals in 2012? Here at the AJC, we're counting down the top 12 sports villains that the city of Atlanta is not fond of. And the call of this next one on our list contributed to a 94-win team season coming to a screeching, bizarre, and angry close as Braves fans littered the field with trash and play stopped for 19 minutes. Of course, making this moment even tougher in Braves history, that loss marked the final game of Chipper Jones' career. Our number 9 villain in Atlanta sports history is umpire Sam Holbrook. I'm joined by our features writer, Gabe Burns, but you used to cover the Braves. What epitomizes Sam Holbrook as the perfect Atlanta sports villain?
Well, he ended a brilliant Braves season, so fans think. And he ended Chipper Jones' career with the controversial infield fly rule that, frankly, nobody knows what an infield fly is. Nobody can seem to agree on it. And it prompted a 19-minute delay. Fans went crazy. And really, that Braves team seemed destined to be a special one. And it came to an end in a controversial way, and fans just never got over it.
Is that the biggest frustration? Because if the season ended because you just got beat, that's one thing. But it seems like there was just so much confusion as to what the call even should be.
Yeah, and look, baseball fans love complaining about umpires. That's part of the experience, but they knew this guy's name by the end of that day. And again, it was the emotions of it all. The Braves were a better team than the Cardinals that year. They were 5-1 against the Cardinals in the regular season. It really felt like that team had the potential to go somewhere. It ends up ending at home in embarrassing fashion. And look, did they lose because of Holbrook? Ultimately, that's really impossible to say. I know Chipper said after the game that there was plenty of other reasons that they lost, not just the controversial call, but it gave Braves fans a place to kind of point their anger and express their anger, and so Holbrook really became the face of one of the more devastating losses in franchise history.
Let's talk about that anger because it's persisted. People still discuss this, but I mean, trash on the field. This game has sort of lived in infamy in Braves fandom for a lot of reasons.
It has, and you haven't seen that out of Atlanta. Atlanta's not a place that throws trash on the field and boos and reacts that way. It's not the nature of this market. So for them to act that way, and knowing, it's Chipper's final game, knowing what was at stake, and it was the first one-game wild card playoff,
right.
And frankly, that idea was pretty dumb. Now that we look back on it, now that we're
now we can say it.
Yeah, now we can say it, and Braves fans they felt strongly about it. And Holbrook again, it gave them a place instead of pointing it at the errors or the inability to hit with runners on. It gave them somewhere that they could kind of channel their anger was to the umpire.
How good was that Braves team that year, and how disappointing was it that that's the way they went out?
It was a major disappointment. And you know what's funny is up until the World Series team, and maybe 2020, but that was a truncated season, the 2019 Braves were the best team that they had since then. They ended up losing at home to the Cardinals in a devastating Game 5.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
Holbrook was there. Holbrook was one of the umpires, so naturally he had to be present for that. So he's retired now, and the Braves are rolling, so I think that they can finally move past it and not have to worry about seeing him out there again.
They can finally rest easy. Gabe, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you continue to follow along as we count down the top 12 villains in Atlanta sports history.